Morning. We're here for the mayor's budget hearing with the Office of Family Safety. I'm joined this morning by the Finance Director, Talia Lomax O'Neill, and by the city's Chief Strategy Officer, Brian Kelsey, as well as Council Lady Taneka Vercher, the Chair of the Metro Council's Budget and Finance Committee. Before we get started, I know you've been informed that it's essentially a status quo budget year. We have, over the last couple of years, had significant increases in revenue that have allowed us to expand city services in most departments. This year, we're not anticipating quite as big an increase, so we're asking for departments to submit a status quo budget so that we can stay within the current tax rate and continue to provide the services to the city that we provided last year and the year before. I know your budget is not quite a status quo because we're in the midst of a commitment to expand the services of the Office of Family Safety. So we won't ask you any hard questions about the increase. Well, we may ask you some hard questions. So if you could introduce yourself and those who've joined you and give us a brief overview of the department, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Briley and
Sure.
Ms. Lomax O'Neill and Mr. Kelsey. My name is Becky Bullard. I'm the Office of Family Safety High-Risk Programs Manager, and I'm speaking with you here today in place of our department head, Diane Lance. With me to my right is Andrew Sullivan, our Finance Officer, and behind me is our Training Manager, Latoya Townsend, and Whitney Blanton, who is the Director of the Gene Crow Advocacy Center. And we just want to provide you with an overview of our services for 2017. The Office of Family Safety has 3 programmatic focuses. The first is our direct client services programs. The second is our high-risk programming. And the third is our training and outreach programs. And we just want to provide you a snapshot of each of those. So our first programmatic focus is direct client services, which we currently provide in the court-based Gene Crow Advocacy Center, and we will soon provide in the new Family Justice Center on Murfreesboro Road. In 2017, the Gene Crow Advocacy Center provided safety planning, danger assessment, and resource provision to over 5,600 victims of domestic and sexual violence. This averages out to about 470 victims per month. And that number almost doubles when you add children and families that enter our center, as well as additional follow-up calls to victims to ensure their safety and well-being. Additionally, our advocates provided over 2,600 orders of protection in 2017. And in our exit survey, our clients reported an increase in feeling supported and knowledgeable when they left our center, and a decrease in feeling afraid and nervous. And those feelings can literally translate into saving a victim's life when they feel like there's a safe place they can go to when they need help. And then finally, in the Gene Crow Advocacy Center, we utilized almost 3,000 volunteer and intern hours in 2017, which greatly expands the reach of our advocates to provide comprehensive services to victims. Our second programmatic focus is our high-risk programming. And the goal of our high-risk programming is to coordinate a rapid response to the highest risk domestic violence cases in Nashville-Davidson County. And we do that by acting faster, essentially, than the offender's violent behavior is escalating towards murder. We do this in several ways. First, we launched the lethality assessment in cooperation with Metro Police and the YWCA. And in 2017, we identified nearly 4,000 high-risk cases of domestic violence. Our office manages the multidisciplinary team response to those high-risk cases on a weekly basis, and we coordinate our high-risk intervention panel. It includes partners from the DA's office, the YWCA, the Metro Division, Domestic Violence Division of the Police Department, as well as additional service providers and courts. This team is an innovative model and is gaining national recognition for the high-risk work that we're doing in Nashville. Additionally, the Office of Family Safety manages our domestic violence death review team, and this team produces an annual report with recommendations for our city on how we can reduce domestic violence homicide. The state of Tennessee has also tasked our office with expanding this model statewide. Our third programmatic focus is our outreach and training program. And this year, our office created a domestic violence educational curriculum for Metro employees and supervisors, which we're working with Human Resources on a full rollout of that curriculum to ensure that all Metro employees and supervisors are well educated on domestic violence and how to handle this within the workplace. Additionally, we've trained over 1,300 individuals in our community partner agencies, as well as within Metro, on domestic violence, sexual assault, strangulation, and vicarious trauma. So that is our overview of our services for the year. And now I want to move into our budget request, which, as you mentioned, Mayor, our budget request is created to prepare for the opening of the new Family Justice Center. And our office and our partners are extremely excited about the new Family Justice Center, which we estimate will open somewhere towards the end of this year. Our center will be the largest in the country, and it will greatly expand our programmatic work to reach victims outside of the criminal justice system who've not previously reached out for help. We've been working hard on the building's design and preparing for the multi-agency work that will occur within the building in terms of things like operations, procedures, client flow, and our workflow. All of this we have to do in a manner that's trauma-informed and we ensure is beneficial to our clients. So to prepare for the new opening of the new building, our budget is asking for funding in 3 categories. The first category is in building operations, which includes a receptionist to ensure that the building can function and operate properly. The second part of that funding category is supplies to support the building's functioning. Our second funding category is for direct services and high-risk programs, and that includes funding for 2 advocates to provide safety planning, danger assessments, orders of protection for clients who enter the new Family Justice Center, and for 1 high-risk programs manager to continue the domestic violence high-risk response and innovative homicide prevention work in Nashville. The third funding category is for training, outreach, interns, and volunteers, and this includes funding for 1 training and outreach manager to continue our education of Metro employees, our community partners, and our community at large, and to ensure that we're providing outreach to community members about the new Family Justice Center so they know how to access our services. And then our final request under this funding category is for 1 resource coordinator to manage interns, volunteers, and donations within the new center. So we greatly appreciate your support, and we truly are looking forward to the great work we're going to accomplish in Nashville's new Family Justice Center. And we're happy to answer any questions that you might have about our budget.
I think it might be worth just spending a moment talking about the other organizations that will be co-located with you at the new site. Sure. And what you see as the community benefit of that.
Sure. So there are hundreds of family justice centers throughout the world. And the Family Justice Center model of co-location is incredibly beneficial because it means that victims are coming to one place to access multiple services. So within the Nashville Family Justice Center, our partners that are co-located will be Metro Nashville Police Department's Counseling Division. So our Domestic Violence Division counselors and other crime violence counselors will be co-located with us. The Nashville Children's Alliance will be co-located. The Department of Children's Service will be co-located. We'll have the district attorney's office. We'll have space for investigators and district attorneys from their office in the domestic violence division, as well as in their child services division. Any partners I'm forgetting?
Other than that, we have a space for a bunch of nonprofit drop-in partners that we work with throughout the community. They don't have dedicated office space, but they have enough space where whoever they want to send to come work with us or work with our department or just be in the building, they'll have ample space for them.
So that would include folks like the YWCA, Morningstar, Legal Aid will all have drop-in space. And we will also have a dedicated staff member from the Sexual Assault Center within the Family Justice Center as well.
It's tremendous for someone that needs that service in that moment, and the fact they can go to one place and have access to all of that at one location and not have to travel around the city.
Right. there are so many complex needs, and we're so glad we
Right,
can offer that.
right. So I just think it's really good.
I just have a comment. So if you've got any other questions, you can go first.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so we made some changes, as you all know, to our Community Partnership Fund nonprofit grant program, and you all are one of 5 departments that have been helping out administering that program this year. So I just wanted to publicly thank you for doing that. You have a very small staff. You were not expecting that this year. And so I just really appreciate the collaboration that you guys have shown and being willing to take that on, because it's a lot of work. I don't see any request for staffing for next year in case it's coming. So I really appreciate the partnership there.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're happy to do it.
And this is a full year for all these staff? And is it anticipated that it would all be hired up July 1, or is there, the building doesn't open for a little while after that?
The
right?
building's supposed to be completed in October, is what we've heard, so we probably won't be in it till November, December. We would like to hire them as soon as we could, so we're not starting with new staff day one that the building's open. We already have the FJC director position in our budget from the previous, for this current fiscal year, who we haven't hired yet, just to try to save money as we were instructed by the finance department this year. So we're holding off on that, but we'd like to get them hired and as many of these employees as we can hired, so we're not starting from scratch day one when we're in there. But I don't know if it would be July 1. I don't think we'd be we're pretty much maxed at our capacity where we are
All sharing
right
desks
now.
right now and offices.
They are, the requests are the full year salaries for these positions.
All right. Well, thank y'all very much. Appreciate your coming. I hope somebody's having a good spring break.
I think she is.
Yeah. Others of us canceled theirs.
I'll let her know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.